Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hobart begins now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. First tonight, Tasmania's emergency services are set for major reform as the government looks to strengthen internal operations. The Firefighters Union has flagged its support but says a funding boost is sorely needed.
A radical plan to bring an outdated Fire Service Act into the 21st century. Tasmania's fire and state emergency services will join forces operating under one agency.
We need to set up our emergency services, strengthen them for the future to respond to the ever-increasing needs and support that Tasmanians will need into the future.
Past reviews have highlighted constant governance and communication issues, emerged now branded as the fix. Chief Fire Officer Dermot Barry appointed as the new Fire and Emergency Commissioner.
We'll still maintain our two separate identities as far as the volunteers on the ground go, but for once we'll have just clear lines of control.
The United Firefighters Union is on board with the decision, excited to see operations streamlined.
This new system gives the Chief Officer the ability to report straight to or talk straight to the Minister and the Government of the day.
Despite doubts from the opposition.
We have had a long-standing policy to support a standalone fire commission. Clearly, the fire service isn't getting the support they need from the government. That's why these governance changes are being flagged.
A new tax or levy is expected, but will be announced closer to May's state budget. The Act also needs to pass through Parliament before any changes can begin. And according to the union, the price of bringing services in line with modern standards could be as high as $200 million. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
More than half of Tasmanian child safety investigations are taking longer than 4 weeks to begin, according to the National Productivity Commission. The Greens are calling it a sign of a failing system in rapid decline. The Premier says it's a priority area for the government and he recognises the need for improvement. The latest report also shows that 99.9% of low-income households are facing rental stress. 3 teenagers will face the Launceston Youth Justice Court in relation to Saturday's fire at Riverside Primary School. The blaze allegedly began in a rubbish bin outside the school before spreading to the roof space. Initial estimates put the damage bill at around $150,000, but the Department for Education says assessments are ongoing. Clarence City Council has rejected Shambroad's request for a time extension on the site's buyback option. The Chinese developers were hoping for more time to consult with the community on a modified proposal. The council is now seriously considering whether it will repurchase the Kangaroo Bay development site by April 12.
They've had 5.5 years and enough's enough. It's time for Shambroad to step up or step away.
Shambroad Australia says it is currently engaging with residents and businesses on a new design concept, and their plan is for construction to start later this year. Meanwhile, last night's meeting stirred up old controversy with the mayor threatening to call police. The standoff came after a member of the public referenced one of the mayor's 2021 comments.
Brendan Blomley stood up in this chamber and said, "Mr Mayor, in tactics reminiscent of Nazi Germany's Joseph Goebbels, those opposed to the $8 million Kangaroo Bay Hospitality School have elevated it before being interrupted by the chairman."
It was clumsy, it was inelegant. At the time I said it, I then immediately apologised and retracted.
The meeting was adjourned before the person decided to cooperate with Blomley's ruling. This week's City of Hobart Australia Day citizenship ceremony will be the last held on January 26. Council has voted to move the event away from the controversial date, a decision welcomed by some but criticised by others.
With a show of hands, the City of Hobart became the latest Tasmanian council to back away from January 26.
That's carried Lord Mayor 6 votes to 5.
From next year, their Australia Day citizenship ceremony will no longer be on that date.
I feel very proud that our council has actually taken this step to change the ceremonies on that particular day.
The population who understand what January 26 signifies would never think of wanting to celebrate such atrocities.
The debate provoking strong opinions.
There are others, like myself and many others that I intermingle with, would prefer not to have it on that date.
Denying those people that specifically want to have a citizenship ceremony, their citizenship ceremony on Australia Day.
Shame.
Lord Mayor?
No interjection from the audience.
The new ceremony must be within 3 days of January 26.
If you ask yourself, this particular ceremony, is it being celebrated on a day that's inclusive? And the simple answer is no.
The tug-of-war also impacting the Sandy Bay Regatta, held at the same time. Organisers look forward to continuing, preparing to celebrate 175 years.
It is a community event. We welcome all sectors of the community. We look forward to actually bringing families here for a fun day.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian tourism company is setting sail into a new era with its new luxury vessel now on the water. It's hoped onboard's multi-million-dollar catamaran will put our tourism and manufacturing sectors on the map.
An old tradition to christen Tasmania's newest vessel.
A lot of friends and a lot of people that I've known for many, many years have all been supportive and turned up today to launch it.
Built in Hobart over 2 years, Odalisque 3 will set sail with 12 passengers. The 24-metre catamaran is low carbon and will split its time between the East Coast and Southwest National Park.
Shore excursions, explore rivers, walk the beaches, climb high mountains, climb small mountains.
The idea of a Tasmanian manufactured boat to take people down to southwest Tasmania, one of the most beautiful places in the world, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
The famed entrepreneur and friend of the boat's owner believes it can put the wind in the sails of local manufacturing.
The company that built this boat is an endangered species. It's an Australian manufacturer. We don't have that many.
We have some amazing skills here in Tasmania in building boats.
An eye-catching attraction, being back to make international waves.
For most of the globalised, urbanised world, that's almost impossible experience to replicate elsewhere.
But it'll cost you. Prices start at $11,000 per person. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian school promised a $20 million upgrade in 2018 is still waiting for work to start 5 years later. Construction on Cosgrove High is set to begin this year, despite aspects of the preliminary master plan being revised due to increasing costs.
$20 million in 2018 money does not deliver the same amount of construction and facility in 2023.
His younger brother is in grade 4 now, and I'm starting to wonder if he'll even see him by the time he hits Cosgrove High.
The state government says the redevelopment was significantly impacted by a 2020 fire, with the new completion date in 2025. Tasmania's premier food festival has made a donation to a local charity, ensuring some of the state's most disadvantaged children have access to fresh produce. Taste of Summer donating $7,500 to Variety's Breakfast Club program.
It's a fantastic fit being a food and drink event, and being able to feed the kids.
We'll fund 15,000 breakfasts or 75 kids having breakfast for a full school year.
The program has already delivered more than 12,000 meals in the past year. Tasmania's farming community is celebrating the life of one of its business pioneers. The family of Ashgrove cheese founder John Bennett says he died peacefully last Saturday. Premier Jeremy Rockliff called Mr Bennett a visionary, a leader and a farming legend. A Tasmanian has beaten out big-name commercial radio stations to take out a coveted country music awards. Danny Shaw has helped launch the careers of star acts, including a Golden Guitar winner, Casey Barnes.
She's a one-woman media company helping make country music cool.
Danny Shaw's just come home from a massive week in Tamworth, interviewing 40 Golden Guitar winners, live streaming ceremonies, and having her very own awards shock.
And the winner is Country Kickback.
She took out Most Popular Show in the People's Choice Awards.
To start with, I didn't believe it. I was really shocked.
Her live-streamed interviews with up-and-coming artists helps get new names out to thousands of potential new fans. Her show is so popular, she's recording up to 5 days a week.
I can't fit everybody in, so it's been a bit crazy, yeah.
Music has always been a family affair, a way for Danny to connect with her dad, who passed away when she was 9. Growing up, the Shaw household was a home away from home for touring country music royalty, including Slim Dusty.
They'd come down to the state and they'd be at home having tea before the show. Yeah, we used to do that. It was just normal for us.
Now it's Danny herself who's the big name in Tamworth.
Walking down the streets, it was just the number of people that sing out to Danny, artists, people she didn't know, and it was really a bit odd, really.
Mum Lorraine has struggled to rediscover her love of music since her husband died, but her daughter's win is helping heal the wound.
I was glad to go and do this with her and sort of open back up to that music for myself.
But Danny's not done yet.
I want to take these artists that can't get on the road and tour everywhere in the one tour to people that might be here in Tassie especially and not have access to music.
Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Launceston's QV Mag is hopping into the new lunar year with a festival in its gallery this weekend. Visitors will be treated to lion dance displays, live music and swordplay as the museum celebrates the beginning of the Year of the Rabbit.
Actually, we regard rabbit as the luckiest one in the whole 12 animal.
We celebrate the diversity that makes up our Launceston community, and we celebrate the customs and the culture that all manner of people that live in Launceston bring and share with our community.
The festivities begin at 11 a.m. on Saturday. A Launceston couple has shed tears of joy after discovering they were the lucky winners of Saturday's Tattslotto draw. The pair held one of 6 Division 1 entries, pocketing nearly $930,000. But they weren't aware of their big win until yesterday, having tucked their ticket away in a sock drawer for safekeeping. The couple says they're planning on putting the money away to help fund their retirement.
The Hurricanes' finals hopes have nearly evaporated at the hands of Steve Smith. The former Test captain smashed 6 sixes for the Sixers in their 24-run win. The Canes have what's likely to be one last hurrah against the Heat in Launceston tomorrow, but they're now relying on other results going their way to sneak into finals. A swashbuckling sixer is all it took to stop the Hurricanes from breaking through the Big Bash ceiling.
He's hit a really, really high ball. Of course he has. It goes on the roof.
66 from 33 balls, including shots like this.
Take that. He launches into that.
Few would deny Steve Smith was an entertainment machine, which made getting him out
and gone
all the sweeter. The domino effect was devastating.
Yeah! Oh, has he got a little feather on that? Yes, he has.
The Hurricanes peeled off 5 for 34, but the target of 181 remained imposing. An even bigger ask once the openers went in the first 4 overs. The Canes were playing for their lives, but the Sixers showed the desperation.
No, hit it to the wrong guy too.
Only import Zach Crawley managed to give the visitors a clip.
Oh, shot. Isn't he hit it beautifully tonight?
He'd go on to top score with 49. Fahim Ashraf was lucky to see a second ball.
Taken.
Caught off the grass, but the Canes went upstairs. Contentiously, it was overturned. The stroke of luck added little fuel to the Hurricanes' engine as the side endured its first loss at home this season. Even Paddy Dooley had to watch Smith in awe.
Our game plan for me bowling to him was show him the sweep shot first ball and see if I can hit him on the pad, and we showed him the sweep shot and he hit it for 6. So, yeah, no, he was fantastic.
Dooley took 3 for 42 overnight. He went one better last time in Launceston against the Scorchers, 4 for 16 back in December. The side's in the north again for tomorrow's game against the Brisbane Heat. They must win and count on other results going their way to make finals.
I know I play my best T20 cricket when I'm sort of using my nervous energy the best I can. I think when I'm worried about getting hit for 6 every ball, that's when I seem to land in the best.
Be a good cricket wicket, which is nice, and the outfield looks immaculate.
Can the Hurricanes storm home in their northern finale? We'll find out from 1:40 tomorrow. Tasmania's Amy Smith is one win away from making a T20 World Cup final. She took 2 for 16 as our women's under-19s put the UAE to the sword, winning by 6 wickets. They'll likely play England in the semi-final. And Rwanda has pulled off what's been called the biggest upset in World Cup history, knocking the West Indies out of the tournament.
Good evening. Hobart 25 degrees today. Launceston and Bushy Park with 28, our warmest around the state. Devonport 23 and Burnie 22. Temperatures generally between 2 and 5 degrees above average. Grove 27, Flinders Island 26, King Island and Strahan 25. Friendly Beaches reached 24, 23 at St Helens and Low Head. Convective cloud moved over today. A few showers in that as well. Tonight AMUs had 41 millimetres and today Lake Augusta registered 14 millimetres. Central parts of the continent cloud-free. High cloud is over the north in the monsoon trough. Convective cloud over other regions containing showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow the low moves to the south and weakens as winds freshen from the northwest ahead of the cold front. Those northwesterlies increasing to 20 to 30 knots, lighter winds over the inland lakes. We do have a strong wind warning. That's from St Helens to Wineglass Bay and also from Tasman Island to Sandy Cape. Now, tomorrow, Hobart, a top of 26, partly cloudy, a shower or two for Geeveston, 26 the top and 26 also for Bothwell. Launceston, partly cloudy and 25, 23 the high for Devonport, Cressy 25 and partly cloudy. Burnie expecting 22, partly cloudy there, but a shower for Strahan, 23 the maximum. Curry on King Island, 21 degrees, no chance of rain. St Helens sunny, 25, 27 for Swansea, partly cloudy for Orford, 26 the maximum. There's the UV back at 11 and extreme. The sunrise creeping out a bit, 5 past 6 tomorrow. Now to Thursday, mostly fine. Scattered shower over the west and far south though. Could be a little drop over the northeast as well. A possible light shower over the northwest and northeast on Friday, but not expecting much. The rest of the state remaining fine. And on Saturday, warm to hot. Launceston and Hobart pushing into the 30s. Further north we go and sunny and warm weather for Perth and Adelaide. 28 the top in Melbourne, partly cloudy elsewhere around the nation, apart from a possible storm in Darwin. And the current conditions still fine, 22 degrees in Hobart, 24 in Launceston, 21 right now in Devonport. And Louise, you may not have noticed, but I did bring into the studio tonight a fairly severe hamstring injury. I just hope it didn't, affect my performance.
I reckon it's the medicine that you're taking, Murph. Thank you for that.